We lost a chance for an education. And I said, it doesn't make any difference whether you win or lose. If you believe in something, go to it. So I contacted the superintendent of schools, the publisher of the paper, my rabbi, and each in turn said, you're crazy. You're going to raise $1,000 in Fall River, never. Well, you don't know until you try. And I used to call, when I would go to a restaurant, I'd have cards printed. I'd say, would you like to become a member of Dollars for Scholars to help the kids? And I kept on getting people yes, yes, and yes. One person comes into my office, his shoes are tied with a rope. He says, I work in a mill. It's a terrible job. Here's 50 cents. When I get the other 50 cents, I'll give it to you. I'm going to cross the street once. A truck stops. The truck says, driver, get out. He says, I believe in what you are doing. Here's a couple of dollars. It's a lousy job. I wanted to go to college. No money. I hope this helps. The president of Globe Manufacturing, people in Fall River know who he is. He happened to be a patient of mine. He came over to me and said, Irv, I can't hire people in Fall River. No education. Here's $300. That was money in those days. And he said, come to my factory, talk to the employees, see if they will help. So I went to the 3 shifts, and each one gave $1. So I had $700, the most any I was able to achieve. So I raised $4,500, unbelievable. We were going to give 15 scholarships. We decided to give 24. When I opened the mail, because we sent letters out to varying people, lo and behold, there's a letter from Eleanor Roosevelt with $1 in it, saying, I believe in what you are doing. This is America. Here's my $1. I want to become a member. I used to call President Eisenhower collect. I had no money. And he didn't take the call, of course, but a Dr. John Fox did. And he said, President Eisenhower said, unheard of. Money only came from rich people for scholarships. This is the first time in history there's ever been an organization going to the people. That's democracy as it should be. If you actually do what you're doing and form a program, I will make sure that I give you all of the support possible. And February 20th, 1958, we officially became Citizen Scholarship Foundation of Greater Fall River. And I got that telegram that Eisenhower, which is in my book, that he promised. When we gave the 24 scholarships in June, I thought that's as far as we're going to go. Fall River is going to give the money out to these kids, and that's it. 4-year scholarships, $50 to $300, which is the maximum. And that would raise all the money that we had given out. My brother in Pittsfield, also an optometrist, 2.5 years older than I am, said, Irv, you only talk about God and country. You never talk about scholarship. Look what you're doing. Come into Pittsfield, start a chapter. I want to go be part of it. Lo and behold, this is what happened. I went to Pittsfield, a 3-hour drive, became a chapter, the second chapter. I saw Barrington, Bristol, Warren, all complaining. They do not have money for scholarships. Please come. So I invited myself down, go to the superintendent, he's the key person. If he does it, the meeting will follow. Every place I went, there was a scholarship program. In 1960, we had 11 chapters all around the Fall River area. And I got them together because Life magazine was going to come down to do a story. And when I got the 11 chapters together, the president, they said this broke down racial barriers, and that triggered something in me because I believe that all of God's children regardless of race, religion, creed, or color. And my wife said, you know, you're talking about a national program. It stopped the dropouts, increased the kids going on to higher education. She says, Sam Levinson, ever hear of Sam Levinson back there? Sam Levinson was a teacher turned comedian. He was the leading comedian in the country. And she said he'd make a great honorary president. So I called him, I paid for the call, and he said, this is a great program. There's never been an education for national program for education. This will be the first. There's never been an organization that goes to the people for money. This would be the first. I'll be there January 10th, 1961 to kick it off. And no honorarium, just pay my expenses. Before he got on to come to Fall River, he was on the Dave Garroway show. The first time Dave Garroway had him, and he told me, I'll tell you, he's never had so many people call in and write. It was a deluge of people from all over America saying, I like this program, how do you start it, or congratulations. Now we have, Sam kicked us off, we had trouble getting people to think that Sam Levinson, such a well-known person, for $10, a roast beef dinner at the Venus de Milo, which is still in existence, and Sam Levinson. Lo and behold, when Sam came down, he regaled us with laughter. Isabel was there. He was talking with the jokes he had. There wasn't a filthy joke amongst them or indication. It was such clean humor. And for 45 minutes. And then he talked about God and country. He started to talk about God and country. What a great country this is. There was no cost for going into college in New York. He was 8 people in his family, 7 boys, 1 girl. All went to college. They had all great accomplishments. This is America. America will only be strong when the young people have a dream and hope. It's a organization like Somerville who believes in helping people. Mathematics is something that so many are needed. If you don't have mathematics and science, there's 14 million jobs waiting, according to Congress, for people with an education. We can make a difference all over the country. One vote says, why should I vote? Only one vote. Put all the votes together. You then would have different people in Congress. You know, the sad part of it is that 50% don't vote, so 25% of the people are the people who put people in Congress. That's how you degrade the Congress that you have, who are more interested in perpetuating themselves. You know, someday, organizations like Somerville all over the country, 1,200 chapters, I figure 3,000 chapters in time to come, $1 billion annually to 1 million students. We the people can do it. We're going to eat now, but we'll talk a little bit later.